Welcome to Conversations with My Cuz. I am Shayla Shay.
It is me, your girl Michelle with the 1L.
And I'm Brother Love, DJ Big Ra. What's going
Hey,
on, ladies?
Ra.
You know what? Hey, what's going on? I just got to address your rocking chair today. So, what are you channeling?
What do you mean I'm channeling?
Paul.
Paul?
Huh?
Paul.
I'm just saying, sometimes when you got a little bit of wisdom going on, you got to explain it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
A lot of little
bit. And being that we here to enlighten and build, let me tell you a little something.
Right, I'm just burning a little bit of sage because last week was very intense, and I want to just have peace. So I'm gonna put some sage in the air. We're gonna breathe in and breathe out.
I brought a drink because I figured I would need.
I don't have a drink this week, but I'm gonna.
Did. That's why I come with it.
We're gonna be here with it because DJ Brother Love was on one last week.
Woo.
And I got some backup today though, so I ain't worried about it. I got some backup today. I ain't even got to work that hard.
All right, we're gonna see about that.
We're gonna see about that.
What's happening with you?
Ain't nothing. I'm down here in the South. You just got me on the porch out here, educating everybody in the world. Hello, world. You understand what I'm saying? So, I got that going on. I got my baby with me.
Educating the world?
I guess.
That's what we doing.
The world.
Here,
we worldwide.
Worldwide, baby.
Oh, we worldwide. Okay.
I want to tell y'all that for a long time. Believe in me. I'll take y'all places. Don't worry about it. We got this.
You know?
I brought a drink.
He's already starting. It's okay. It is quite all right.
How's y'all weekend? What's going on, Mr. Shay? What's going on, Michelle?
What did I do this week? I feel like I didn't do much of nothing, actually, which was good. Yeah, I can't work. You was out in these streets.
I came out to the NY. I went to the BX to check my daughter and hung out with them for a little bit and brought my behind back home. My intention was not to stay out there as long as I did, but I did. So it was a good time when you get a chance to see children. I had to call that oldest one, like, you need to come see your mama. He was like, all right, Mom, where are you? You need to come. He's like, I'm going to fly you out to Houston. I'll just be mad busy. I'm like, okay, well, you got to see your mama. I had a dream about him. That made me call him early this morning. Like, you all right?
I've had to guilt my oldest one. Like, I try not to do that because it's unfair. But then I'm like, listen, I got to use the words like, I may not be here forever. You better come spend time with your mama.
Your mama getting old now.
Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
Look what you made me do. You made me guilt you.
But, it's funny. I'm out here with my daughter. We were really having the best time, kumbaya, and it's cool.
I love that.
She cool. You know what I'm saying? Me and Scott.
Are both of y'all on Adderall?
Nah, I don't know what it is. It might be the Hennessy for me. So.
Sorry.
But we out here kumbaya, and you know what I'm saying? Just it's no outside forces. That's why.
Oh.
That's what I think it is.
And you know what? Sometimes that matters. No outside. See, this is why you got to burn your sage.
Yes, and but little man, he's loud. We got to do something with him.
He's a baby. That's what they do.
No. This little nigga is loud.
Well, you are, and so is Scott.
Well, I never really thought about it that way. Now you say.
Hello.
It's kind of a thing that runs in the family. That
it's
all right. It's all right. So what else is going on?
Nothing. I was trolling today, and guess who I'm going to talk about today in my trending topics?
Who?
Miss Michelle with 1L.
Whoa!
I need to figure out right here. We got to talk about this. And all the people
serious right now.
All the people out there in TV land, this is my trending topic for the week. Michelle with 1L must have watched the goddamn BMF, and I guess it was some kind of scene. And the post was, wait a minute, Big Meech. I thought Little Meech played the part. So evidently somebody must have graduated and took on his daddy role And then it's a whole lot of stuff going on here. And I was just wondering, and I'm trying. So, Michelle, what I really want to ask you, because every time we trending, right, we never get to ask the person what we trending about.
Okay.
The post. Let's talk about that post.
All right. Okay. So I'm watching BMF, as I do every Friday or Saturday. I don't get a chance to watch it on Friday. And there was a scene, Little Meech, excuse me, had a scene. It was kind of graphic, and they actually showed his, member.
What?
They showed
what
his
episode
member.
number was that? Because I need to watch one episode of that show.
And I was like, oh, okay. It took me back to Oz days, Shay.
Now you said something.
Took it back to Oz days. So I was like, wait a minute. Little Meech ain't so little.
Now I can interject because I didn't know what had happened.
Little Meech ain't so little that I was like, well, damn, let me go see what my Facebook people got. All the girls jumped on it like, girl, yes. Here go one hating ass dude on the comments. Not Rob. Rob said something. Tell my, y'all over here getting all excited over a dildo.
Hate.
And how would you know what it is? So my comment to him was, whatever it is, we like it. There you go. I'm not going to tell you if it is or it's not.
It's very, very few male frontal nudity in movies ever. Like, we're subjected to seeing boobies and butts and all kinds of parts of women. We always are subjected to that. And don't nobody need that in their life. What we need is some male frontal nudity.
Yes.
Every once in a while, once a season. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, because a little something.
Hold on, Rob. Let me go back. Years ago, Oz was me and Shay's show, to the point where we would literally be on the phone with each other watching the show.
Yep.
And it was dang-a-lang all through the show.
Almost every episode. We was waiting to see who was going to give it up.
And Shay's like, there it goes.
And hey,
bingo!
I'm glad
we're so perfect.
You ladies said that, because again, I'm the point guard and I set this up lovely. That means the salami rules. And this is all I had to say. Shout out to the salami. Like I tell you all the time. Like it T.I. is. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't rule.
Well, that post just got there showed me you done grabbed it.
Listen, every now and again
you need a little
eye candy.
You need
don't hurt nobody.
You need a little therapy behind what you saw on TV.
I don't need no therapy.
You was excited. I seen you.
And then he had glitter all over him. It was glitter. It was glitter everywhere. I was like, what the hell is going on?
The salami rules. That's the only thing all about it.
It caught my attention for sure. And I was like, I'm looking at little boy a little different now. Like,
okay, see, like I told y'all before, so y'all be talking about ain't sex and ain't no yes, it is, goddamn.
It's not.
First of all, let me tell you why. That's not the poll. You want to see
it doesn't rule because he's not doing. I'm not sleeping with him, nor do I want to.
For you to get up to say, big, you even called Little Meech Big Meech. I'm trying to say, you don't graduate, man, and you don't know the damn man.
Just because we can appreciate beauty doesn't necessarily mean that we want to.
Look, you ain't even seen the salami and you calling it beautiful.
I know what beautiful salami is
because she knows if I saw it.
I know what beautiful salami is.
So how about this, lady? How about we just say shout out to the salami one time? That's why
I'm not saying it. I'm gonna say shout out to BMF. Shout out to BMF.
So
that's
what else
where I'm
got?
going with it.
What else you got, Michelle?
No, what else you got? We're talking about the Mexico fiasco with the people got killed, and we discussed this a little bit.
That was tragic
on our meeting.
That was tragic.
Yeah, it was
very tragic.
Yeah, but a lot of people is not believing what the situation is. Like, I'm really watching a lot of the stuff on media, and it's sad that 2 people lost their lives. But
Absolutely.
it's but when you travel into these places, if you want to buy a booty, a knee, an elbow, you got to really try to really plan accordingly and really do your homework because it is another country.
Mm-hmm. The
you
rules
have to do
apply
your homework.
differently.
Yeah, because you can't just be all freely just in other people's countries when you know that it could be potentially be dangerous.
We don't see the danger, right? Americans can be very arrogant, feel like,
That's true.
we're invincible and nothing's going to happen to us. And it's not going to happen. So we don't prepare in that way.
Yeah, look, they didn't even bring back Killer's yet? The girl from,
we still waiting on that.
We still waiting on that. And that was, you could actually see, because I feel that the video was the blow that actually killed her.
Right.
And it was like they didn't even go to indict her yet. Indict the 6 men yet. So it's like when you're around them other countries, you gotta watch out.
Mm-hmm. And then something else happened not long after that with not Shanquilla, but this last one. Some girls got their money stolen, got pulled over by the police, the Mexican police out there, and they stole their money with some weird stuff.
Very possible.
There's too much going on.
Yeah, like you need to just go to the freaking tourist
resort. Go to the resort and stay there.
And exactly. Go to the resort and stay there.
The resort has everything.
What are y'all
Drinks,
doing?
You got
y'all doing too much.
Beach, all of that. Just go to the resort and sit down.
Stay within the lines.
But you know what's weird about this though is that the young lady where they were saying they had a doctor on, and they were saying that where they go to actually get this surgery, like right when you go across the border out of Texas, it's like cosmetic surgery row right there. Right there. You got a booty shop, a lip shop, a hips, whatever you want. So my thing is, how did they even get off the beaten path to get to where they got to get? It's just, it's what, hey, cinnamon spice. Yeah.
I'm quite sure they know who's coming across the border. They got to go across the border to get into the country.
Yeah.
So whether they got off the path, they know they're there.
Yeah, it's definitely. But we just
got
to just be mindful. Go to Miami, folks. Go to Miami. It might be $6 more.
If you must have surgery,
right? You got to be. It's bad enough that you're doing the surgery, and there's all kinds of life risk in that as well. I'm talking about the risk associated with it. The fact that there are so many risks. Looks, that's fine. It's really about the risk to your health, right? Because you're using beauty to risk your life oftentimes, because surgery is dangerous anyway. And then to be in a space where you're doing it and you don't have the best of medical care should something go wrong, and accountability for that is where it's like you need to stop and think about where you're going and whether or not it's worth saving that dollar.
Exactly, it is. Well said. Well said, Lachey.
I'll slap you.
Well said. No, it really is. I don't have my little button,
no violence. No violence. No violence. No violence.
She speaks so well.
I don't like you.
Miss Angela was on point. Miss Angela was always on point.
Well, since I'm on point, let me go ahead and start the next segment of our show.
Oh, man.
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is. We pausing waiting for the man. He's not doing his job because he looked dumb. You can see him in the background looking dumb.
Hey, Rollo.
You so fired.
Let me
guy
ask
on the
my
couch. You were about to sing, Shell.
I was gonna sing it. I was gonna go back and
we're gonna get our little ditty on. I miss it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
So this question I have now is for both of y'all, and this is tailored a little bit differently. So I'm gonna ask y'all both, and then I want Ra to go, and then Shell to go. Okay?
Oh, we got assignments today. All right.
Ra.
Yes, yes,
Have
ma'am.
you ever dated a woman who displayed a lot of masculine energy? And how was it if you did, or do you have a, negative or positive outlook on it? And then, Shell, my question for you is, as a woman, when do you think it's best to tap into your masculine energy? Okay?
Okay.
All right. Go, Rod. Your
Go
turn.
ahead,
Your
brother
turn.
love.
Hold on. How we gonna tell the truth? I'm gonna tell the truth. Yo.
Tell the
We
truth.
gonna always tell the
Tell the
truth because
truth.
that's what we
Shame the
do.
devil.
That's what we do.
I went on a college trip with one of my family members. I went to this college. I ain't gonna say no name because then they're gonna know who he is. So the college,
think
but
we
went
heard
to the
this story.
college and she was a 6'6" power forward. Yeah, I took her down.
Is this about to be about something
Took
that
it
has something to do
down.
with sex?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know what the
yeah,
hell.
yeah. No, she was very masculine. She was very, very, very masculine.
You mean in the way that she looked?
No, just talking, her persona, the way she was talking to me. Yeah,
Mhm.
She's talking that shit,
So
and,
you something
and
to you?
until
Was that attractive to you?
What did it?
it
How
was
did you like
very, it was very,
Okay.
it was very, because
that? So what about that made you
look at here, honey. So it was yeah, I miss college days, but yeah, it was very. She was very masculine, but
Okay.
one thing I found out is, and I don't want to say if it's the salami or nothing like that, but that energy changes when you get into intimate settings. Is that better? Is that better? You like how I
Interesting.
rephrase that? Let me say it again.
Interesting.
That
I'ma
energy
agree.
changes when you
Okay.
get into intimate settings. So I
I
don't know.
absolutely. Well, for me, personally, I agree.
Right.
For
So
myself,
so
yeah.
I
Okay.
understood the energy that she gave off at first, but once she got to know who Rod was, it was something different after that. It was
Mhm.
eggs and bacon in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So it was very good. So I think the woman really have put that masculine energy out there. I think it's more of a protective thing. I think it's more of
Okay.
a kind of you're gonna respect me or this that because I could seem like I'm rough on the edges at times. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
So sometimes they might want to turn around and want to give me the law before actually getting to see how the woman
Okay.
really is. So I think it's more of a protective mechanism in it, and it's challenging too. It's
Okay.
challenging because ever since then I want all that smoke.
Oh, okay. I hear all of that. All of that. All right. Well,
That,
so for
that's what I
you, the
say.
masculine energy was she was super aggressive, is what I'm going
She was,
by.
yeah,
What
she
you're
was
saying.
super
She was aggressive
Yeah, very, very much so.
more than what you would think that how a woman should be.
It was because she because the thing was she kind of actually chose me or kicked it with me but she was talking to me like I was like a little nigga, like yeah, you cute nigga, and like I'm like hold on here, you know what I'm saying, like like the roles should have been reversed a
Oh.
little bit, you
Oh,
know what I'm
shouldn't have.
saying?
Okay.
Yeah. So she put
So
energy out there.
she bagged you.
Oh, that's what it sounds like.
You want to say nah? Well, you can say that, but
Yes. You don't want to own that, huh?
But again, do believe it was bacon and eggs in the morning.
That's
You know
But
what
she
I'm
fine.
saying?
bagged, but she got
Yeah.
you
But
though.
she bagged you.
Yeah, took it down.
And then made you some bacon and eggs in the
And
morning.
then yeah, and then
And
put them on
patted you
you.
on the ass and sent you
Yeah.
on out the door.
I'm
Said,
just
look
saying
here
though.
now, I gotta get to my business. You
Well,
was
So in other
wonderful.
words, she
Re-
kind of
re-
controlled the whole situation.
Respectfully.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So my
All right,
self-esteem wasn't jeopardized.
Oh, well, that's good. As long as your self-esteem
Thank
was
God.
intact when it was all said and done. Because
Woo.
for you, the end result was you took her down. And it was
Mhm.
all
And
good
that was
after
all
that.
he needed. Yeah.
Nah, because the behavior changed.
Hmm.
There wasn't no more of that fly talk going
She
on.
became
Softened up.
docile.
It was
She
more
became docile.
like a fly. It was a vibe of that. You know what I'm saying? It was different. More conversation. More
Okay.
the life she wanted to do.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's go to Shell. We appreciate your input on that.
All right. So
Thank you.
for me, I feel like there has to be a balance between masculine and feminine energy. there are some women that exhibit a ton of masculine energy, and
when is it appropriate? That's what I was asking.
When is it appropriate for masculine energy?
When is it for women, right? Because sometimes, yes, we have it both, but there are some times in life when it's needed, right? You got to kind of
agree.
So that's what I was asking. When do you think that's like?
I think when it comes to, especially your relationship, you know, when you're with your dude, I don't know. Some men want to see a softer side of a woman. And most times women that exhibit a lot of masculine energy are aggressive. I could come across as being aggressive, but as you guys know, on the inside, it's a whole other situation going on.
Big crybaby.
Hold on. Now, I didn't tell you. I'm telling my business to the people.
Well,
okay. So like Rashe said, it is a defense mechanism. So I feel like when you're with your dude in your safe space, your softer side should be more present. But when in your day to day, when you hustling and you doing whatever you need to do, you working and you grinding, you getting things done, then yeah, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. But when approaching a man, I think you need to kind of pull that back. Because some women use it as a guard. I know for me, it's a guard. It's a guard because you're not about to. That's my attitude.
Okay.
That's
can I just say one thing? So
yes,
what's glow issue? What big glow issue is?
Big Glow, Big Glow. No, I think Big Glow had to keep you guys in line,
right? Because that was one of the times that I was gonna say that sometimes it's necessary when you're raising sons, and when you're a single mother, and you don't have the option to say, you know, your father, this and that. It requires a mother to carry both and to carry them both on high levels.
Agreed.
Right? And it's difficult because how do you be the nurturer and also the disciplinarian, right? And in that way, you can fall short in both of those areas.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And I think in relationships, so since we, you know, in relationships when I've been with men who are docile. I don't want to say docile, but you know, they easier. You know, they kind of laid back. It requires me to be in my masculine energy. I feel like it anyway. I know that
that's what I was gonna ask you.
If you make room, I'll test the line. You know what I mean?
What'd you say?
Yeah, but you know, I found out on the men's side is because I learned it took me a long time because I think earlier in my life I was more of an aggressor. Now in my later age in my rocking chair, you know, I'm easy now. Everything is just easy.
Easy like Sunday morning. And easy like Sunday morning.
But the problem with that is you get so much flack behind it because now is you don't put forth effort. You don't, you know, sometimes I think the woman like more the masculine crazy energy that y'all ask us not to have. Because when you're easy with it, it's always a problem.
Okay, I have a question for you. So what is masculine? What being?
You know what? I think that this is a really good time for us to bring in our guest because
my guy, let's go.
He has an outlook, and this is, you know, I think he can chime in on this.
Yeah. Everybody, welcome Lee, the author. So we guys, you know, we had him on, so we had asked him back just to sit in on the conversation and join us. So
you in the background, and you can hear what we was talking about. So, what's your take on masculine energy in women and relationships, and really generally in life? Like, you know, because often, and I ask that question because oftentimes men seem to be have a problem with it, right? Like, girl, why you got them sneakers on? Put on heels. Why you right? Until it's time to do some shit, then they like, go on, girl, get that shit. So what's your take on it?
My question would be how you define masculine and feminine energy, because that differs from person to person. Like what I just heard DJ Ross said, I feel deeply and like in sync with him on that, because I've always been more of a chill, relaxed guy, and I get a lot of pushback on that. My majority of my
Very
life.
much so.
Now, there's been times when I wasn't sure about who I was, and I was really putting on the front, like, this is how the dudes around me acted, so I acted that way, and things ran a lot more smooth when I was, super aggressive, telling youngers, what to do. I'm not with this and not with that, and blah 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 blah, which wasn't really who I was, but it got me a lot better responses from the jump than when I was like chill and genuine and my own vibe or whatever. It's like, look, at the same, I'm not passive, but at the same time, I'm not about to be running around here telling you what to do, or feel like I gotta be super aggressive. I'm gonna let you know what I want, and once I let you know what I want, I'm gonna see what you're gonna do with it. And if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. If you're not, you're not. And that's just going to decide how we move. So I mean, it all depends on how we defining what that energy is, because that changes. I think that changes the conversation.
I go ahead.
So masculine energy, I see Jerome mentioned control. I don't think it has to be a controlling thing to be
at all
operating in your masculine energy. People think masculine energy, especially when for a woman, that is she's aggressive, or she's she's this, or she's brolic, or she's acting like that. But it's not necessarily that either, because I'm a sneaker girl. I love sneakers. I'm not a heel chick. I'm not that girl. So I will put it on. But I'm not that girl. So for me, a man that operates, I don't want to say as a man because he's a man, but a little bit of aggression is not a bad thing.
But see, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people get caught up on when you try to define what that actually is. Like, I was at my daughter's game earlier today, and one of the moms had on, just some regular, mom clothes, some sweatpants and some sneakers or whatever. But the way shorty walked while she was walking down the court, it gave you all feminine energy. Her strut, her glide, whatever. It didn't matter that you got the heels on, so it's not a clothing thing.
I love
it. Some look at it like that. I agree.
I think that when women are in their masculine energy, they are attempting to control the narrative, that you make decisions for the relationship and you become the alpha in the situation, and that becomes the alpha, the masculine energy. They are the ones that be like, we're gonna go to dinner, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Is the first person to make the decision, and the man is kind of in a yes dear kind of space.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, dear.
Yeah. I think that's a woman that operates in her masculine energy.
I don't see anything wrong with the woman making a decision, because
no, but I'm asking
at all.
I want Lee to just try to respond to that, as far as in that context. How do you feel about a woman?
In my opinion, it's comfort zones, right? So I think I heard Michelle say, like, she, that's like a defense mechanism for her. It doesn't mean that when the time comes, when I'm assuming when the time comes, you're in a relationship, you really care for the guy really cares for you, that you still ain't going to be like, yeah, let's go to dinner, I'm taking you out, or, pay a bill, or whatever is put on as, or considered masculine energy. I don't think that means she's not going to do it in that time. Is when you're not comfortable. So a lot of times when we out here in the world, we're, we can't trust the world. We're old enough to the point know that we can't control, we can't trust everybody out here to have our best interests at heart. So we're real protective about ourselves when we out at work, at the grocery store, what have you. But when you come home and you got your person at home, you're supposed to feel comfortable. And once you feel comfortable, whatever that is, that's your energy, whether it's aggressive or not. Like, I mean, I don't want to speak for Ra or whatever, but if I came home, I got a text message from my lady saying, hey, we going to dinner tonight at 8, you know what I'm saying? I left, we're going to go to this restaurant, whatever. I'm not gonna be mad at that. I'm gonna like that. I might actually enjoy that from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Where she steps up and takes charge in moments. I take charge in moments, but you gotta learn how to vibe off of each other. Of that, I think where the problem comes in is when people feel like they have to more or less control the other person using one thing or another, whether it's using their body and sex, or using their money, or using their masculinity or whatever, saying, hey, I'm the man, so I'm supposed to be the one in charge of this, or I'm supposed to be the one in charge of that. When you try to characterize things that way, I think that's what leads it to problems. Like if you better with the money than I am, Slim, here's the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Put me on an allowance. I'm good with the joint. If that's what the relationship is, I might be better at making decisions than you. You can't pick where we're going to eat. You can't pick where we're going on vacation. All right, I know who you are. I'm gonna pick this vacation because I know you going like this. The guys and blah blah blah. Like you're supposed to feed off each other. It shouldn't really care who takes charge in what moments or whatever.
I like that. I like that. And I totally agree with that, because that's when all the gender roles and stuff kind of go out the window. It's just however you guys operate, however you guys decide to do things is how it should be done. That's what I'm hearing you saying, right? It shouldn't be well, you're the man, so you're supposed to do this, and you're the woman, and you're supposed to do that. It's whatever you guys put in place to decide.
I believe expectations kill a lot of things. The expectations that you have kills a lot of things. If you doing things with, whatever makes you comfortable, it doesn't matter what the other person does.
I think I think your expectations, and it's funny. I had a conversation with a young lady I was dating, and I was telling her I don't put expectations on no woman. I don't expect nothing of you, and that's because, and the reason why, and this is kind of what really makes me easy, is because if the thing about getting pissed off or angry is not usually the act, it's the disappointment. So if that expectation was never there, then you would never
be disappointed.
You would never be disappointed. That's one. But I want to get back to like he said, with the paycheck and paying the bills. That I might have a little problem with. In the relationships, it turns around. It works. Because it works different ways. Because I need to know in my mind, and it's probably a man thing. It's probably a masculine thing. Yeah, get your sage going, because you know where I'm going. It's a masculine thing, because I need to. The way I function is, I can't go to sleep at night wondering or thinking about what's going on. So if I know I did it, I paid it, it's taken care of, then it's a whole nother situation. That's why with me, and it does come off as a bam bam masculinity, over beefy guy, but it's not just that. It's what makes me sleep at
over beefy.
It's what makes me sleep at night. It makes me sleep better knowing that I know those lights ain't gonna go off, or those. Not to say anybody would, but it's just with me, like I said before.
I totally understand that.
So with me, sometimes I do get in a situation and I say, baby, let me just go ahead and handle this. It's not if I'm better than you or you're better at it. It's I function better in a relationship knowing that in that space,
right? But that's a conversation between you and your partner. But there was a question I want to address this question really quick before we move on to the next topic. She was asking, is it masculine to make all the decisions or just controlling? So is that for a man or for a woman? Because if a person is making all the decisions in a relationship without input from their partner, then I would be like, that's controlling the relationship.
Agree. I think that it has a lot to do with if you've relinquished your power in the relationship and allowed that person to make all the decisions versus that person taking the power.
Because you said for women.
Yeah, but you could, because you could think about it like this too, is you get what your hand calls for, right? So me, and again, this is why I'm easy. If I know I have a woman with, I'm not going to say masculine, let's say strong personality, right? I know she has a strong personality. At certain things, I will fall back because I don't want to challenge her. I want her to be her. I want her to feel comfortable in her zone on how she reacts. So to me, I can step back and allow her to be who she is. Now, if that's who she is and she's comfortable with it, and I could be comfortable with it, then it could work. But a lot of the times, what usually happens is when this energy comes up and they want to make all the decisions and this, that, and other, sometimes you hit a ditch. You understand what I'm saying? And then it's like, how do we handle it from there? And even then, I learned to just really fall back because she's going to bring it to me anyway. So at the same time is that I just learned that no matter who you with, you have to vibe in her energy. Let her be her, and understand.
And
her
vice versa, though. And vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay,
because that's the only way that it's going to work.
Right.
If you both respect each other and let each other. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I believe we go back to that expectation thing because, like, I just look back on my own personal history when I've gone on dates, and like I can see how some men could get caught in the trap on things. Because I've had women when I've gone out on dates, they be like, "Yo, well, go ahead and order for me." And I've had other women where I've taken them places and be like, "Oh, this place got a good this, got that." Oh, chill. I'm gonna make my own decision off of it. Don't worry about it. Whatever. Like if you meet the same type of people and they keep asking you to do the same type of things, you expect that's what you got to do. If you grew up in a household where you overheard your mom or your aunts and your sisters or whatever talking about, "Oh, I wish a man would do this, do that," then you get kind of trapped in, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do.
That's what he's supposed to do, right? But then you try to force that on. You try to force that on that man.
When you meet a woman that's not with that came up from a different background, we get this thing of thinking all women are like monolithic. Like, okay, one woman like this, so all women like this. Nah,
right?
It's not that way. But it takes a long time to get that way, or to understand that. So you run into that next woman who you love her in all ways, but she's different. Except she's different in these ways than the other woman is. Now you don't know what to do because, hey, this is who I am. This is who people have told me to be, and they've always responded this way, positive to me when I act like this. Now you acting different. Now it got to be you. It can't be me. So that's the expectation part. And I mean, I feel like it's the same thing with women. When women expect a man to be a certain way, like you said, when you act like a man, whatever that is supposed to mean.
Right.
That's based upon your history, how you grew up, what you saw from your dad, your uncles, what your mom told you a man was supposed to be, or whatever.
Right.
That's what you got in your head, and that's part of the things we got to learn to unlearn as we grow up.
Unlearn, yes. We are really good at putting those expectations on other people because that's what we want, and then when that person doesn't meet those expectations, you're disappointed. And then now you're just going through the motions because now you're stuck in this relationship with this person who you want to be something else.
Well, that's why it goes back to what I'm saying. I allow a woman to operate in her space, on her time, on her space, on her level. I never really try. And that's what I find that works for me in relationships. But a lot of the times I don't get that same thing back.
And is that the breakdown?
You understand what I'm saying? That might be the breakdown because again, it's like, a lot of the times with me, it's really lifestyle, right? So it's like, well, you met me on the road, you probably met me at a party, you met me at an event. Now
you see me right at home.
Yeah. So now
I don't want you on the road anymore.
Right. Exactly. Right, and it's the same thing. Like I said before, with me, I allow this woman to be in her space to do what she needs to do. If I met you working 60 hours a week, any way I can help you if I'm here, I will. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not going to put that pressure on you about what a situation is, or I just want you to be you in your comfort zone. So you know what I mean. But getting back to Michelle, when you said the girl, you're not too girly. I don't like girly girls either though. I like them. I'm more of a straight t-shirt, panties. I don't need the lingerie and all that other crazy shit. I'll put your Tim's on. Let's go to dinner.
He said he does. See? But you know what? A woman should be able to be that too.
Yes, she should.
She should be able to do both.
Right.
She should be able to
have on Tim's and jeans and lingerie underneath for pretty stuff.
That's the challenge I would like to ask y'all women though, because I feel like the society we're in right now, and we're growing in right now is more of a thing where women don't like to be boxed in, right? We don't want to say a woman's supposed to be this or be that, but I don't think the conversation's changed on what a man's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Like the expectations of what a man's supposed to be seems not to still, 70s, 60s, 50s type of mentality. when y'all think about like, oh, a man's supposed to be this, be that. But the woman thing, like y'all don't want to be in a box no more. Y'all can be whatever.
Okay.
How
I
come
think that philosophy.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you
I was
finished?
just
What you
saying,
were saying?
I wonder why that energy is just not going forward towards men. Why is that conversation not evolving towards how we look or what we put in the as what a man is supposed to be?
And I think that's interesting because that kind of goes right into the topic of chivalry versus feminism and what chivalry is, and if a man should still, if that's a problem today, are there any chivalrous men out there still? And if they're not, why? Does it have anything to do with feminism? Because you have the strong black woman who don't need all of that. I don't need a man opening up my door for me. I can do it myself.
Right.
I don't,
and that's exactly what I was going to say. Is that I think
I got cussed
that
out by
to some
by
degree,
for that.
Feminism.
So why you had to say New York though? You know what I'm saying? Like why?
I guess that's where it happened.
I guess that's where it happened, right?
Start head in here. What you say to me?
So it kind of does kill chivalry when, like Jerome just said, when you have women that
say don't right.
Don't do that.
I'll do it myself, and in that way, right? It has changed the narrative of how women show up in the world, and to answer Lee's question, how we show up in the world, the narrative has changed a little bit because it used to be that there were gender roles to some degree, right? Women were expected to do certain things and men were expected to do certain things, and then women got to a point where it's like, hey, that's limiting who we are. We're capable of doing everything and anything that a man can do. And we don't need y'all help. Like, we got this whole thing. And then it's like, yeah, but I need you to get the door and I need you to carry these bags and I need you to put this thing in my car. I
need you to pump the gas.
Right.
What's funny with that is, so on a drive down here with my daughter, it was a 4-hour drive. Very long conversation we had. It was pretty interesting. I think what's going on now is women aren't putting not expectations, they're not putting requirements on the men that they choose to be involved with. So like I was talking to my daughter about a lot of things. And we were just talking about, what should be the expectations of, what's going on with your kid, your kid's father and stuff like that. And she wants very, very minimum input from him. And to me, I'm losing my mind. Like, do you know who your father is? Like, what did you see your whole life? Like how did you even get to this point to even have that kind of requirement? Like, as far as a man, you can say a lot of things about me, but one thing you're going to say is Ra has always taken care of his kids and the mothers for so much. So the thing is when you put minimum input on what you expect from these men, how do you want a man to open the door for you?
So do you think when you put minimal expectation, I don't want to use the expectation, requirements on a man, right, does that mean that you are putting yourself in a box
I believe it because I see this and it seems like to me a lot of these women, like my daughter, they're crippling these men because they're expecting hold on a second. They expect like I said, what they require for a man to do is he don't have to get up and go to work every day. He don't have to do this, because I need to get my own apartment. I need to get my own. I need to have my own. That's the mentality. So whatever that comes on this end, it just comes, and that's what I'm realizing with the younger generation. This is what's really happening. And guess what? You seeing less men doing for their women.
And what were you gonna say, Lee?
I see it the other way around, kind of like I see it as men have been boxed in, as women and men were both boxed in these gender roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as society has moved where women are more free now, they're not in that box no more, but men are tend to still be looked at in this box. I feel like that's where problems occur, because when we look back in the day of it, or when I look back in the day of it, when men had women in these boxes, was very little that we, right? Women, you take care of the kids, be home, have my food ready, be ready for me when it's time to go to bed. That was like the women's requirements, right? That was it. Men were required to take care of the house, work, take care of the cars, make sure everybody got money, clothes, everything like that. Now we switched it out, so where the women now not in that box, they can take care of themselves and do everything that they were looking for a man to do. But still, now you get into what is it that you want. It's no longer what women need. It's what does Michelle need, right? What does Shay need? Like, I might not need a man to open my door, whatever, but I appreciate a man that takes out the trash. Like, again, it's part of, I feel like the problem with the gender roles and the boxes is it's part of these things that we want when we don't need everything. But if I tell a woman, like, oh, I don't want to be the primary cook in my relationship, I would like you to, cook or be the primary cook. Some women that I've talked to automatically think that I'm trying to, diminish them as, oh, you got to be the cook in the house. Like I'm trying to push her back, back in the day and type things. Where I'm like, no, in this way, I like this part of it. Whether you want to call it a gender role or whatever, this is what I prefer. Now the rest of it, I don't need you to, be sitting at home all day and raising. I love raising my daughter. I be around my daughter all the time. You can go out and party with your friends. It's fine with me. Like, it's different. We should be able to pick and choose what roles we like and what roles we need. But not also
for the two people.
It shouldn't just be limited to what we think it should be. Okay, well, you're supposed to do XYZ, and you're supposed to do XYZ.
But here's a situation though, too. To me, I feel like whatever it seems like with the woman, the man is caught in the catch-22 because it's the thing about y'all feeling safe, y'all feeling secure. A man, there's certain things that men are supposed to do, and to me, it's like, if a woman has to go out and pay the rent, the bills, or whatever it is, then how do you feel secure within your relationship? Like, except, you know what I'm saying?
With a man who can't help you financially,
can't help you, and not even financially, but it's just other things as well, and that's where it seems like the one, I'm not going to say just African American, but that's basically primarily who I date. But within then is they finding themselves doing all of this by themselves. So if I got to pay my own rent, my own mortgage, my own car, no, nigga, I can open my door. You understand what I'm saying? So at the same time, but to me, I thought a woman wants to feel safe. She wants to feel secure. She wants to woosah. She doesn't want to worry about certain things. Yes, like he said, spending time with the kids as well. I find that very good too. Everything with me, my life is based more. I find more fulfillment out of really hanging with my kids at this point in my life. Now, maybe then I probably do dating, but it's just weird though that I think that this is what we're getting away from. The women aren't feeling secure enough with men to do certain things. And that's why it comes, now, you know what? I opened my own car door. I bought it.
You know, right. And let me add to that, because everything you're saying is on point. You know, with women, as far as feeling, I think men have to feel protected and safe and secure as well in a relationship. It shouldn't just, absolutely. And I don't talk about protection, I'm going to protect you from harm. But protection comes in so many different forms.
Protect
your
I
heart.
know where you're going.
Protect
You know what
your
I'm saying?
heart.
Not that I'm
You're
gonna
right.
your heart. You got to protect your heart. You need
Yeah,
to make sure that his
exactly.
mental is good.
I
So
can
you have
agree
to
with that.
protect
Right.
all of that.
Like,
So
he knows
when you
he
think
has-
about
Baby-
protection,
Like baby got this already. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
right. You know what I mean?
I
So
get it.
and I think that's
Agreed.
lost too in relationships when you talk about protection and feeling secure. That women feel like only men are supposed to be the ones that provide that, and they're
Agreed.
not supposed to provide that for their partner as well. But if you choose a partner that's not able to provide in any of those ways, then doesn't that fall on you because you made that choice?
But
It
I
does.
feel like the protection thing is being skewed, right? Because I feel like the better word for it is peace. I believe women and men want to feel at peace. Now, back in the, if we want to talk about the dynamic back in the day, a woman felt at peace knowing, hey, well, my man's out working, he's taking care of the house, he's taking care of everything. I'm good. I'm at peace. The man felt good when he was at peace, knowing, hey, when I come home, I'm gonna have my food ready. No matter what's going on out here in the world, I come home, I'm gonna have my food ready. Somebody gonna have my slippers. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm ready to go to bed, shorty coming to bed with me. That's what people still want is the peace. When we start breaking down, like, oh, now there's got to be financial, or it got to be like now. I believe that brings in all these other aspects, because if you a 5'6" dude that got a frail body, like when you talk about protecting your woman, what that mean? Now you gotta go get a piece. Now you gotta be extra hard out in the street with a piece, and want to be that way because ain't nobody gonna try me, and nobody gonna disrespect me in front of my woman type thing. Like that, I feel like that's different. Like it's okay if the lady makes more money, or the lady take care of the bill, or whatever here, there, or what have you. If you still giving her peace in another way, if money might not be the thing that gives her peace. Just because
we're all different.
I agree.
I agree. If you paying all the bills and she's still,
but
you're not
coming home.
Arguing,
right.
It's
you're
not
coming home. That's
flip,
not
flip side,
Yeah, but see, on the flip side is even like, let's say like I'm 100%, I'm all in, right? This is the way I look at a lot of stuff, and this is why to me personally, I pick up a lot more, because I want her focal point, honestly, to be on the relationship. So to me, all the outside stuff that you got, I want to make your life easier. You understand what I'm saying? Because if your life is easier, mine can only be great if I'm in love with you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So when it comes to and it's certain things, and I know y'all gonna flip up, the girls are gonna go crazy, but I just believe you get the drink on, because I just really believe that women's stress levels is higher than ours. And when it's a lot going on for her, it affects the relationship. We can multitask a lot better and say, hey, it's going to be all right. So to me, it's like, you know what? If I could take this from you, what's going on with you? Let's say you working, you make $150,000 a year, you $200,000, you got a house, you got a mortgage. You know what? Let me help you with this, because evidently you're functioning by yourself. You don't even have enough room for us. You understand what I'm saying? So at the same time, if I could turn around and say, yo, let me get to this bill, let me get this, let me get honey right. So now when I come home, them t-shirts and panties, they right there. You understand what I'm saying? Because
I get
point, you know, so
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. So if I can make it easier, and I believe that that's what a lot of men are getting away from. You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying that honey can do this, honey can do that. In all actuality, it's hard for y'all. Y'all birth kids. Y'all got to be the doctor for the kids. Y'all got to be the therapist for the kids. Shit, y'all got to be therapists to y'all men at times. Y'all hold a lot together. So to me, the more of the grunt stuff that I can do, I just want to take that off of you, because if I did that, then when I come home, my life is easier. I don't want to sit on the phone and complain to the man on the couch about my woman. You understand what I'm saying?
But I feel like it's a two-way street, though. I feel like it's a two-way street, that it has to go both ways. I get what you're saying. I think we both need to be working towards making each other's lives easier. We both have to add and not take away anything from each other. So again, that will go back to the man's role in the relationship. Are we talking about gender roles, or are we just talking about bringing peace to each other's lives? whatever that looks like.
I believe it is a gender role at some point because again, men are men and women are women. We don't think and our strength levels aren't the same. There's some places where I'm going to be weak and she's going to be strong. There's going to be some places where she's going to be strong and I'm going to be strong and she's going to be
absolutely
weak. And that's what it really is. So yes, it does come down to the gender role because if it's not, then we'll all be the same. We're different and we think different.
Yeah, we are.
What
we
are you
are.
gonna say, Lee?
The gender role part, because I'm going back to the example you just put out there with a woman making a certain type of money. Like I've talked to a woman that, making six figures, got her house paid off, cars paid off. Like she's not looking for any help financially. So if a man comes in there thinking like, oh, it doesn't matter if you're making $250,000, $500,000, you be like, oh, I'm a take care of your mortgage, or I'm gonna take it. Like she doesn't care about none of that.
Right.
But and be quite frankly, I'm not in that type of position, right? He messed with me
Keep it real.
because I was the type person that I did the other things. Like I was trying to make, like you said, trying to make things easier for her was, oh, you got to do stuff with the kids, let me make sure there's some food at the house. Let me order something. Oh, you're not feeling good. Let me bring stuff over to you and help you out that way. Because she doesn't have help with her day-to-day stuff. She doesn't need no help financially, right? Like I wasn't in a position to, I wasn't close enough to where like,
it's
I'm
not
gonna
about
be doing
money
stuff with the kids. But I'm gonna also be able to relieve her stress from having to deal with the kids, right?
Right,
and
but
that's what she needed. So she needed a man to be there for her
present.
on other levels outside of those traditional gender roles.
Yeah,
she needed more things than other ways.
Right, but I had a friend who went through that, and when I looked at the relationship, when I really spoke to him, I said the relationship ended up they didn't make it, right? But the thing is because the role that he played, I understood why he didn't make it, and before it even got to that point, I told him it in your mind. You're thinking that this is what it is, but in all actuality, it came down to when it was time for her to get up and move to that next level from, let's say she was a principal, right? Now she moved to the next level as a district leader of a school. Now she's on that next vibe. He couldn't go with her. You understand what I'm saying?
Not,
so
though? You mean just financially, or
not financially, just all in the relationship. It just didn't play out.
Was that her though? Was that him? Or
it was a her thing. It was a her thing because what he ended up doing was he ended up doing the smaller things that was needed, like you kind of said. But then on the thing was everything where he wasn't ready to even be in that kind of relationship. So he stopped doing what he was doing in his career to push forward because she needed that help. So now she's on this level here, right? He's still here. She's going to move on. You understand what I'm saying? So at the same time and he should have, to me, was yes, do those things, but you have to focus as well. Y'all are not on even playing fields.
You still have to work on you. You still got to do you.
But when you're not on the same playing field, you don't realize that at the same time. And that's why when she moved on, bought the bigger house or did something else or whatever the case may have been, now it's like, she sees, somebody else that might have a little bit more going on in his life, because the small things, that mattered then, but you're progressing in life.
Because your requirements change, right?
Exactly.
And each person in the relationship needs certain things to feel peaceful. Everybody doesn't, like to Lee's point, it's not always financial. Sometimes it's about matters of the heart and feeling secure in that way. And they're fine as far as money is concerned if he don't work, etc. But there are some people, and men included, who need a mate that is bringing money in the house to feel comfortable because that's their comfort zone, right? So it really does fall back on understanding who you're with
Right.
And knowing that you still have to pour into yourself, right? Because
always.
one of the things that Ross said is about taking the stress off, etc. That's great if you can, right? But to Lee's point, you also have to be realistic about what it is that you're doing, so you're not pouring from an empty cup and expecting great outcomes from it. Like eventually this person is going to turn around and lift me up. And that doesn't always necessarily happen if the relationship is not skewed well.
If it's one-sided. If it's one-sided and she's receiving and not giving anything, then yeah, she's going to take all she can take from him, and he's going to be drained, and nothing is going to happen. Hold on one second. And nothing's going to happen from that, because now it's one-sided. You have to be. It have to be on equal playing fields.
No, right. It does. But it has to be all, because, like I said before, is that he was doing, like he said, he had the kids, and this thing was her kids. So it wasn't even their kids.
Well,
when I said that,
in my
opinion. Hold on. No, he did. But what I'm trying to tell you is that certain men, they take on these roles, and sometimes it's a temporary thing, because the woman might say this is what she wants now, but a year or two from now, it might be another thing coming from, and that's kind of what keeps the break in the relationship. So at times we really just got to really sit back, and like Shay said, it's on who you with, and it has to be a lot of communication, because if I have to take on that kind of role, I have to really sit back and really think about this, like, because I'm not elevating on a level that you're elevating. We need to grow like this.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Do you only listen to the words that the person says, though? Because that'd be my problem. That's the problem that I've had with a lot of women and men. When
it's the actions. Friends, it's never the words.
When they talk about, it's not only what they talk about, who they are, what they want. You also got to see how their mind works and how they evolve. The action. Because, like she said, who you are today isn't who you were 5 years ago.
Correct.
Now you are the same. You still the same person, but the way you evolved went with the way your mind works. Right? If you learn the person that you with, you can see how their mind works. You're gonna see that, right now, this is what they temporarily need to get by today, but this probably isn't who they're gonna be. They're not gonna be comfortable at the same place at 5 years ago. I mean, 5 years
comfortable with who their mate is in a relationship.
If there's no progression,
you still watching the kids and they 15. Like, what the hell? You better do something.
Wait. Put up Katrina's comment.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just weird like that.
She said it's communication. You got to make it work for the both of you. You don't have to be equal, in my opinion. You just got to be willing to work. And if one is moving up, the other needs to be growing and progressing as well. Yeah, and so it sounds like what you're saying is, old boy stopped whatever he was doing to just tend to her. I don't feel like I never see that as a good thing. You should always continue to work on yourself, no matter who you're with.
Right. But at some point that's what was probably required of her at that time. And that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, you go into it because you're thinking we, us. You're not thinking you, me. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So again, that story could be put out there at first, which again, it's like at times we say, okay, that's why I said, to me, it's always the actions. You understand? Because a woman can change. We all can change. But at the same time, it's the actions on what that person is saying or what that person is doing. But if I'm in the house with your kids and you're in Cali, Colorado, and you're constantly moving up that channel, you understand what I'm saying? I have to say, hey, at the same time, where's it even room for me? Because you don't even have the room in the relationship right now, and I'm dealing with what you have personally, but we don't even have a us time.
Okay,
you understand what I'm saying? So
I get what you're saying.
You understand, but because men do that, and that's why I say a lot of the times you have to really look. You have to really look at the actions and understanding that the requirement. She might say one thing, but she don't even see what's going to happen 3 years from now. And that's another thing, you know. So it gets to be a real sticky situation.
If you're looking at it as a we
that,
situation and what it does and whatever I'm doing to contribute to the relationship, how does it work for us? Because at the end of the day, I hope you're looking for the future. So whatever we have going on right now is going to benefit our future. So we have to be looking at that. So yes, she says, this is what I need from you. But he also has to say, this is what I need from you. It can't just be, I'm sitting at home while you're climbing up the ladder and I'm at home being a babysitter. Like, what does he need?
What were you going to say, Lee?
I was just saying that is unfortunate. That could, everything you're saying could be true of that situation, but that could have just been her. Like, right. I know personally who I've talked to, and that's my problem when it's men and women, the way we look at things and look at relationships. Like, there are people out here who don't know who they are. And because they don't know who they are, they can't tell you or can't help you figure them out. So if you go by what you see or what you're saying or what they're saying, it's not really going to apply for them because they still trying to figure themselves out. And that doesn't have an age limit, unfortunately. So I agree. That's true. Unfortunately, those situations happen, I believe, to men and women where we've done what we were supposed to do and this other person didn't appreciate it or didn't fulfill part of the bargain. But at the same time, you can't take that on to the next person because you might meet another person in the exact same situation and all they've been looking for was the person that you was in your last thing. But now you so, hurt or whatever from the last thing that you don't want to be that person again. I'm not going to let myself be played like that again. I'm not going to let myself be caught up in this situation again. And now you're going to miss out on, the next person who would have loved exactly what you was doing.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So Jerome was saying that that's not fair to say because on the woman's side, the expectation would be that the man wouldn't leave the woman because she sacrificed to do those other things. You see that a lot, when people sacrifice for the other person.
Yeah, men will leave a woman for a woman that they think is on their level to some degree.
Because she's at home, that's having children.
Yeah, and sacrificing. So was your secretary for 7 whole years, Next minute, you're on to the next younger thing who got a waistline.
You have a waiting to exhale situation.
Exactly.
You know what I think a lot of this comes down to is a woman or a man that really takes the time out and understand their mate for who they are and know them. We don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? We don't pay attention to me. Like, we could laugh and joke about a lot of things Rod do, but one thing Rod is a very good judge of character. I could call it a lot of the times before I see it. And that's because one thing I really do is I really listen to what she's saying. And if what you're saying is not coinciding to what you're doing, that becomes to be a problem.
Have to align.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot when it comes into it. Like I have, young lady, I've probably been dating for a long time. And she might look at one of my posts and say, this nigga's at it again. You understand what I'm saying? But she understands who I am. You understand what I'm saying? And at times sometimes that's what you may need in life. Somebody that really knows you for who you are and understand you for who you are, and you the same. You understand?
And not get into situations where that's not happening.
Yeah, because people don't take the time.
But we don't. I agree. We don't take the time because we let other things factor in that helps us choose the mate.
Yeah, yeah. Like usually you could go back and
like salami.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with the salami. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Salami ain't got nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Not this here. Now,
there are some relationships that are built on salami.
Sure enough.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is
that's the problem with partnerships versus marriages. I don't see the difference there. Other than you're married.
But the thing is too, just go home. Anybody that's listening, go home and ask your mate, boyfriend, wife, girlfriend, boy, whatever it is. What's my favorite color? I bet you a lot of them don't even know the goddamn answer.
So get out of my face with that.
You might be right. getting to know who you
Say blue, green,
getting
purple,
to
I
know
don't
who
know,
you're
I
trying to
don't
spend your
know, I
life
don't
with.
know.
But then you get in a relationship with somebody who you in there for 20-something years and you still don't know that person.
You still don't know him, but
because
that's
everybody
what I'm trying to tell you.
as time goes on, you change and you morph into someone else. Not so much someone else. You know what I'm saying? But you morph, you grow, you elevate.
And
things change.
change.
So if you're here and they're back here, something's gonna happen. It's not. What you
thing
said?
I feel like a lot of people need to have an honest conversation with themselves though, and ask yourself: are you really secure? Do you really know who you are at this moment? Like, as much as things change and evolve, like you could talk to any of my exes since I was like 25. They will all tell you, like, whatever you can. If you were somebody dating me right now, you can go to any of my exes from when I was 25, and they would be able to be like, yeah, a lot of that. I know a lot of stuff you're dealing with. I know what you're talking about. Chris still act like this, or because my core of who I am is the same. Now, things that I've learned, I've evolved in the way I deal with money, on what I think is my plan for the future, and you know how I'm going to grow and all these things. Some of that has evolved into another level. But even if you told them what that was now, they wouldn't look at that and be like, nah, that's not Chris, right? Mm-hmm. So even though you grow, your things change. Like since I got around 25, 26, I started getting secure in who I was. And once I got secure in who I was, like nothing really pulls me out of that no more. I won't let nobody pull me out of being me no more. Right?
I love it.
So because of that,
love that.
Again, I continue to evolve, but I evolve amongst my core. And anybody that's dealing with me going to tell you the same things. But when people aren't like that, it's because they don't know who they are. They still haven't got comfortable with who they are. They ain't figured that part out yet. So I feel like you really need to be that before you start talking to people or before you trying to get something really serious with somebody, because it's unfair to the other person, because you're going to be who you are right now, but you find out 5 years later, oh, nah, this is who I am. Now this person can't match up to that.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah, because for me, I'm always looking at from year to year. Like I always look when the next year comes, when my birthday comes this year, I'm always looking at my progression from where I was last year. I do that every single year because you have to evolve mentally or spiritually, whatever it is that you evolve into, you need to evolve. Staying in the same space to me is unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's unhealthy.
It definitely is. But here's the question though: do we really change?
No.
Or do we really change? Oh, because I believe that and this is where in relationships where it kind of takes me away is you get with somebody and that person, you might have that interest, but she might have an issue on how you handle things, but you try to adapt to her. And it's like at the same time, it's like I could see it. I see it so clearly in so many different people, in so many relationships. And I have to ask myself sometimes, because I don't even ask them no more. I ask myself, could you adapt like that? Like I can't at this point in my life, it's like, okay, well, if I can't be me in a certain part of my relationship, then how can I ever have peace? Mm-hmm. Regardless to whatever it is. If I was a crackhead, I like to smoke crack. That's what I like to do. You understand? But
not crack, but okay.
But no, I'm just saying. For instance,
you gotta stop that.
Like no, but if you don't want to, that's your prerogative.
It's your choice. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
If you want to smoke crack,
you got somebody constantly in your ear like this, and you're trying to make the change to adapt to that. You understand?
Well, I mean, if somebody is telling me that something that I'm doing is unhealtly for me, I mean, I have to look at that and be like, you're right.
You can get it.
Go to smoking crack.
But,
I mean,
but
yeah.
I know, but at some time, but I'm just saying it could be anything. You know, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I just use that because it grabs your attention.
You like crack.
But at the same time, is if I chose to smoke crack, that's what I'm going to do. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is if you can't really, if you're uncomfortable with it, then you need to remove yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
Especially if you're not going to stop smoking
instead of hindering me. So people say, oh, I'm not going to do that no more. And then go sneak and do it. or but you understand what I'm saying? But if that's what you are or what you do, then that's who you are. You know, like for instance, let's just say football. Football might be my joint, right? Sundays, I want to sit on the football, sit home, drink my beer, watch football. If that's who I am and that's what I want to do, then don't make plans for me on a Sunday.
Agreed.
Because now I have to do things and readjust to what you want me to. But I feel if you cared enough about me and we're supposed to be solid, please don't bother that man on Sunday.
I agree. And Tina said she's all for improving who she is and not opposed to change. I don't think we change. I think we improve. I think we elevate. I think we grow. And like Chris said earlier, the core of who we are is who we are.
Right.
We can add to that and we can continue to grow for the better. That's the hope. Because if you smoke crack, and Jerome said, you know, some people don't look at things as being unhealthy, although we know that smoking crack is unhealthy. For them, it's like, hey, I want to smoke crack.
But hey, David Ruffin went to their grave doing it. That's what
some people want to smoke that crack, and that's what they want to do.
A couple times a day, don't hurt nobody.
You want to beat them in their hand all day long about that crack being unhealthy. They're like, I'm gonna smoke me some crack.
Say, look here, man, I smoke my crack and I lose a little weight.
And I don't bother nobody.
And I don't bother nobody. And that's the thing. So to me, I would say really like remove yourself from the situation at this point.
You have a choice.
You have a choice, but don't badger me about
my crack.
What I should do about smoking crack.
So I paid my rent, I paid the con, and
my bills are paid.
I got a little extra money, and I want to smoke that crack.
Goes down.
Now I'm going up the block, and I'm going to do what I do, and when I come back, be ready.
I mean, listen, if that's who you want to be with, and that's who you choose to be with, and you know that they smoke crack and they ain't bothering nobody, and the bills are getting paid, hey, smoke on and make life with the crackhead.
No, but I'm just saying.
At some point, some shit gonna come up missing though. Believe that. Believe that, okay?
Yeah, but whatever it is what I'm saying is that we always want to put people in different spaces.
Yes, I agree.
In relationships in a time, and not really letting them be them. And these people look so damn miserable in that space. When you see them, you be like.
Because you're trying to change for somebody else instead of changing for yourself. And that's where the problem comes.
Or you're trying to change somebody else.
Or you're trying to change somebody
else.
Or
that. Is that too? That's another thing. That's why I said
and people tend to do that a lot in relationships because we like the person enough to want to build with them or do something with them, but we don't like everything about them. So now we want to try to change this about that person to suit what we want. And things it never works that way because you're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah,
you can't change people from who they are.
Yeah, don't tell me I like my favorite pair of plaid shorts and you want me to wear silk shorts. I want to wear my damn plaid shorts.
Plaid shorts is going in a garbage. Listen, this is why we wanted to have Lee on the show is because we knew this conversation was going to pop off, and here we are, so over time,
way over.
So appreciate
we are way over.
Right, the time flew by, but we are way over time. So we got to get ourselves
to the show. So you know y'all gonna see him again. We bringing him back.
I got backup now. That's all I need. We rolling.
Male perspective other than yours is always welcome because sometimes you drive us nuts.
Before we go, how is the book going?
The book is doing well. Like I said, officially came out on the 14th on Valentine's Day. I've been doing pretty well. Went down to Orlando, did some work out there, got some interest out there. So it's moving pretty good. Second part's going well. Michelle, did you get your copy?
I got mine. I haven't started it yet, but I am going to get to it because I have been so caught up. But I got to read it. I'm going to be
glad to hear it.
I got mine. So how did the whole Beyonce thing go? Did you do the drawing for that already?
No, that's the drawing be on Mother's Day. So
all right, so y'all better go and cop get that bundle, y'all, so y'all can be entered into the drawing to win 2 tickets to go see Beyonce.
2 front row tickets, right?
Yes, 2 floor seats.
Floor seats. Y'all better go get that bundle. Go get that bundle.
Leaderauthor.com and you can get your bundle from there.
I love it. Leaderauthor.com. Thank you for coming on the show again and being willing to jump in and be a part of this conversation. Your input was great. We sometimes need an offset. Like after last week, we was like, we need a buffer from crazy.
Like I said what I had to say.
Because y'all don't know what we go through.
Lee, we was on a show like this.
Sweating.
I have my facts though. My facts is right.
Yeah. Well,
you made a lot of valid points. Yes, you did. We're not taking anything away from you.
I'm gonna admit, a little personal. Took something a little personal. You know, are you in there talking shit or what? So
you see,
I had to prove my point. You know what I'm saying? I had to prove my point. You know, and I got it across.
Yeah. Katrina was here last week, so she know what we went through.
No offense, ladies. That wasn't about y'all.
I know it wasn't us.
We know because we were sitting here like, oh.
You beat somebody's ass. It wasn't ours. We was, you know, products of whatever the hell that was. All of us, we walked away like how the hell? We need Chris. We need a drink. We need Sage. Like somebody stop him.
All of that.
That's what
you never know what you're gonna get with Rock.
That is so true. But you know you're gonna get a good show.
Michelle Boogie. I just want to tell our viewers and listeners where they can reach us. Always, right? You can always reach us on Twitch, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, iHeartRadio, and UBU Radio.
Yeah.
So check us out. Like, subscribe, share, follow, all them good things.
All that good stuff.
And now,
as you guys know, we end every show with a quote. We kind of got off topic a little bit from chivalry and feminism, but I kind of think we covered it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, we
did. What a loss it would be if feminism killed chivalry. So we will see you guys next week. Peace and love.
Peace out, guys.
Hit the button, Rollo.